Hi, everyone. I am Braden Curran here with Matt Curran. Today, we're going to talk about podcasters and how they can use Convene as a platform for their benefit.
Yeah, so I love the idea of podcasting, and especially in times like today, there's so many people out there that are podcasting. But one of the things that I think happens with podcasting is that, that's one-way communication where I put things out and people can listen, but how do they interact back with you?
Right.
How do they, take what you're saying and then ask questions or communicate or, hear other people's ideas and stories. And so what Convene does is allows you to take your podcast or wherever you're doing it. We use Libsyn, but you can take the iframe of your podcast. There'll be a tutorial below, and you can put it in either the group, in the discussion boards, in the experiences, and now it opens up that two-way communication. Now people are not just listening to your podcast. Now they're listening and interacting with your podcast.
Right.
So I think it's very powerful. Again, in the example we'll show below, people are, I use three forms. I use video. I break the audio off the video to make a podcast and Libsyn, and then we post the iframe in there, and then we write a blog. Right. So we do all three and then allow people to interact with us. But podcasters, this is a great platform that people can use.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the beautiful things about podcasting too is that really you can talk about anything, anything that you want to, and you can still do that here in Convene. It just allows you to. It gives you one other place to put your, your podcast, but it also again allows you to really interact with the people who are listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that will in turn allow you to continue to, produce better content.
Yeah, and it's not changing anything that you're doing, right? You're still building your podcast and whatever that you're using, whatever format you're using or whatever service you're using. It just allows you to bring it over and now build your audience and communicate, collaborate with your audience.
Yeah, and talk just a little bit about the public-private premiere and how podcast groups can take advantage of those.
Yeah, so one of the things that you can do within Convene is we have three different types of groups. You have free, public, so you can just take it and allow anybody and everybody to have access to it. Let's say you have a private podcast, like you're putting something out there that you want just for a specific audience. You can control who comes in and who comes out of that group and who has access to that podcast. So it's a private group. So for example, if you're a counselor or something that you maybe are putting out something that you want to keep within your own group. The other is a premiere. So premiere is sellable content. So maybe you do a podcast and you want to sell that content. So you just post that within a premiere group, and people have to pay to have access to that content. Either annually or one-time payment, or they can do it as a monthly membership. If you're constantly putting, I call that a dynamic group, you're constantly adding content in there. So there's different options of how you do it. And then we have share links to where once you put it in there, you can go to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we're getting ready to add Pinterest to it as well. So again, it allows that shareable format that drives people back to your group, and you can build a group around whatever your podcast might be.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you watching, and we look forward to you interacting in this group, but we just want to give you a little bit of an idea about how podcasters could use Convene.